Example 1 says solve the systems of equations. We have 2x plus 8y equals 5 and 24x minus 4y equals negative 15. And I noticed that if I take these two numbers, plus 8y and minus 4y, I can eliminate them if I multiply this second equation by 2. So if I multiply that second equation by 2, that would change this into a minus 8y, and I could cancel those out. So let's go ahead and do that. So 24x times 2 is 48x. 2 times negative 4y is minus 8y. And 2 times negative 15 equals negative 30. And I'm going to stack the top equation, 2x plus 8y equals 5 on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these equations together. And by the way, when I'm doing this, this is called the elimination method. Okay, I'm going to add the two equations together. So 2x plus 48x is 50x. 8y plus negative 8y cancel out, they go away. And then 5 plus negative 30 is negative 25. So I'm adding these equations together to eliminate the y variable so that I can just solve for x. Now 50 and x are being multiplied together, so I need to do the inverse operation and divide both sides of the equal sign by 50. The 50s cancel out, and I'm left with x equals negative 25 over 50. And if I were to simplify that, it would simplify down to negative 1/2. Okay, that's important. I need that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of my two original equations. I'm going to pick the top one. This 2x plus 8y equals 5. And I'm going to substitute in negative 1/2 for the x. And I'm going to do that because then I'll just have y and I can solve for y. So now I have 2 times negative 1/2 plus 8y equals 5. So I just substituted this x in for this x here. 2 times negative 1/2 is negative 1. So negative 1 plus 8y equals 5. I want to solve for y, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides of the equal sign. Drop my 8y. So now I have 8y equals 5 plus 1 is 6. Now 8 and y are being multiplied together. I need to do the inverse of multiply and divide both sides by 8. So I have y equals 6 divided by 8. And I can simplify that to y equals 3/4 if I divide both of these by 2. So now my answer is my x, which was negative 1/2, and my y, which was 3/4. It's kind of a lot of work. But there's our first example. It's called the elimination method. We eliminated the y's to begin with. So now I'm going to go down to example 2, which is 8x plus 4y equals 16, and 7y equals 15 minus x. Now, this is a little bit harder to do elimination with, and I'm actually going to tweak the second equation so that we can do the substitution method. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I want to solve my second equation for x or for y. And I'm actually going to solve it for x because x doesn't have a number in front of it. So bear with me. It's going to be kind of, this is just one way to do it. There's a lot of different ways to solve this system. This is just how I would do it. So I'm going to solve for x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 7y equals 15 minus x, and I'm going to add x to both sides of the equation. So now I have x plus 7y equals 15. And then I'm going to subtract 7y from both sides. So I get x equals negative 7y plus 15. So now I've solved for x. X is the same as negative 7y plus 15. So what I'm going to do is take my top equation, which is 8x plus 4y equals 16. And I'm going to plug in negative 7y plus 15 to that x. And then I'll only have y's in my equation. So instead of 8x, I'm going to do 8 times negative 7y plus 15. And then the rest, plus 4y equals 16. Okay, now I'm going to distribute. So 8 times negative 7y is negative 56y. And then 8 times 15 is 120. And then still plus 4y equals 16. Now I can combine my like terms. I have negative 56y plus 4y, which equals negative 52y. And then plus 120 equals 16. Now I'm going to solve for y, so I need to get rid of the minus or the 120. So I'm going to subtract it from both sides of the equal sign. Bring down my negative 52y. 16 minus 120 is negative 104. And then I'm going to finish solving for y by dividing by negative 52. Those cancel out. And I have y equals negative 104 divided by negative 52 is a positive 2. So we have y equals positive 2. So now I'm going to plug that into, I still need to find my x. And what's really nice about what I did earlier over here is I already solved for x. I said x equals negative 7y plus 15. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in, let's do it in blue, this 2 for this y, because I said y is 2. So I'm going to plug that in. See, I'm substituting 2 for y. That's why we call it substitution. Negative 7 times 2 plus 15. Well, negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. And negative 14 plus 15 is 1. There's my other one. So my solution is 1, 2. And like I said, this is just one way to do it. I just wanted to show you the substitution method and the elimination. So let me make it small so you can see all of it. Might have to make it pretty small. So for example 1 was elimination, example 2 was substitution. Just so you can manipulate your equations to use whatever method you want. And there's not just one way to do these problems. There's a lot of different ways. So if you do it differently than me, it's okay. As long as we get the same answer, it's good.